All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as children say in the streets, what it do, baby? It is your boy Pride, joined by Trey and Greg. Trey, how you doing today?
What's going on, Pride? What's going on, Greg? How y'all doing this morning?
Chilling, dog. Greg, how you feeling? You about punching the desk today, bro?
No, not today, man. I'm feeling good, though. Feeling good.
I'm glad you're feeling good. So, obviously, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to get into the NFL draft and who we think should be top 5. We'll talk about Jacksonville. But before we get into all that, the man, the myth, the legend himself, John Madden, at the age of 85, landed what it do, baby. But at the age of 85, had passed away. This dude, iconic, doesn't even begin to touch it.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking, you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about a guy who a lot of people's first memories of any game is John Madden. Yeah. Now, all this is not even without going into his coaching. Like, I'm just talking about from the broadcasting perspective. This is where a lot of people first have seen him and known him going boom. Like this dude was phenomenal. He contributed a lot to the game. And yet landed ripped to a true legend. We throw the name legend, the label legend around way too easily. John Madden, 110%, without a shadow of a doubt, was a legend in every way, shape, and form. Greg, your reaction to his passing?
Man, I was stunned, honestly. Just a few days earlier, we were watching the doc on him. Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy how, life, kind of happens like that. But I remember my first football game I ever watched was Super Bowl 31. And it was Summerall and Madden on that one, and fell in love with the game of football just off that game. When Summerall and Madden did a game, it was literally poetry, and that was the soundtrack of my childhood. And anybody that's my age or maybe a little bit older, that was our soundtrack, man. And I will definitely miss him. He needs to be on the cover of next year's Madden.
I'm pretty sure he will.
So
the fact that he hasn't yet, considering that the name literally came from him, is wild to me. I'll be honest.
Yeah, he was on it every year until about 2001. Then they started putting the players on there. But he definitely needs to be on it this next year. But he was great at simplifying the game to where anybody could understand football. And he made it fun with the woom, pound, boom, and whoosh and all that. Like his love affair for Brett Favre and all that, and so he was just an awesome dude, and he will be forever missed for sure.
Trey, any words on the man, the myth, the legend himself, John Madden's passing?
Like Greg was just saying, basically it comes down to how you like you said, how you view the game. Like, of course, everyone has memories of playing the Madden franchise games early on in life before graphics start to evolve and stuff like that. his soliloquies of doinks for miss drop passes or booms to illustrate things, and for the most part, the grandest thing is the man had a 75% win percentage for
Yes.
anybody that was over 100 games, like
Yep.
103 games won to 32 loss with
Yep.
7 ties. That's pretty good. So that Hassa had even won. Teams weren't on his level, and he did it. Think about it. He came into coaching when he was 32 years old. So you know what I'm saying. So he was a young buck when he started. So I think a lot of stuff goes swept under the rug. I haven't watched any other documentaries, but I mean, of course, just like anything else, with anyone passing or people who are seen as being great, people always tend to go back and do their research and take a look at it. So I'm very sure the documentary is going to be seen, and people are going to have more of a greater love for, you know what I'm saying, what he does and what he brought to the NFL. So, you know what I'm saying, it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, prayers and condolences to the Madden family.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I believe a documentary of
Madden.
John Madden had just recently came out. If I'm not mistaken, I think it came out on Christmas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Christmas, yeah.
It's either Christmas or around or a couple days within it. Like they had recently just dropped it. And like you said, look, people remember him for his coaching. Oh, I'm sorry, for his broadcasting. But like you said, in terms of coaching, the dude was a genius. Like you said, he came in relatively late. If I'm not mistaken, he stopped coaching 42, 43, somewhere around there.
He coached for 9 years.
Yeah. So he did that, and it sucks. It's a shame. Again, the only thing I hope is just it was peaceful. I hope he didn't suffer. Something that he was able to pass and be fine. And it really is a shame, And I really hope that next year John Madden is the cover of Madden.
He should be.
You know what I mean? Like to your point, Greg, like he really should. And it's very interesting that they name, like, I don't know. I just feel like he should, at this point. And if you want to have a thing where it's like, like you know how they have like the elite edition, like the one that you'd be spending like $100 bucks. It's like a different one, like how the most recent one it had Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. If you want to do something like that, that's fine. I hope in some of the challenges and whatnot, because like in Madden they'll give you challenges and whatnot. I hope they'll have a couple challenges where it's the Raiders and coached by John Madden. Bring back him, calling plays. You know what I mean? Even again, he doesn't have to say the name, but again, what I would do, and this is just me, if you miss a field goal, you just hear him say doink. Okay. if you get hit sticked, you hear a boom. Like, I don't know. Like, and you don't even need to have him do play-by-play or color commentary. I don't think so. I just think you need to just
those sound bites.
Yeah, those sound bites that if we're gonna be honest, those sound bites is what made him different. That's kind of what put him on a different pedestal, because I think Greg, I think you said it. He was able to make the difficult game known as football sound so easy.
Yes.
So not only was he able to break it down, but on top of that, there were times that people have watched the game not to watch it, but because John Madden was commentating on it, bro. And people are waiting to hear the boom, wow. Like people are waiting for that, So I feel like that's something they should do. That's that 82 said, just put Madden on there with every cover athlete that's been on the game. What I would do at the bare minimum, if you want to have the athlete on the front, that's fine. On the back, that's where I would put John Madden.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I would put John Madden on the back, because I agree with that. We need to put John Madden on there because we need to understand something. Not a lot of people know why Madden is called Madden. They don't know why. They just think some dude just he was making a football game and just was like, okay, cool, Madden, here we go. Madden because it makes you mad or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably what they think. And it's like, there's a dude out there, or there was a dude out there named John Madden, who revolutionized the game with not only his coaching, but he's gonna be a 2-time Hall of Famer. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer as a coach, and then he's gonna be a Hall of Famer as a commentator.
Yep.
This dude is gonna be a 2-time Hall of Famer. That's how great he was. Again, it sucks, but again, I just hope that he passed away quickly. No pain, because again, if he was 85,
Yeah.
He was 85. There were rumors, I'm assuming it's reality now, that he had all sort of health complications the past few years. Again, I just hope and pray he's in a better place. He's not, I forgot who he used to do his commentary with, but it's like Pat something. He's
Pat Summerall.
Yeah. He passed away too. So right here, right now, I'm telling you right now, come Super Bowl, God is gonna be chopping it up. He gonna be chilling in a recliner, and he gonna have both of them calling the Super Bowl for him. And if I could go to heaven for just one day, it would be for a Super Bowl, because I want to be able to hear a boom just one more time. I want to hear a doink. No, fuck it. I want to hear a doink. Okay.
A doink as the Kansas City Chiefs missed the field goal and 49ers on that.
No.
And listen, and if that were to happen, Greg would be he would be conflicted. He would be like, it's John Madden, but we lost. So, but again, like Landon said, rip to a true legend. You will 110% be missed. Moving on, Jacksonville. I believe Jacksonville right now is one of the best head coaching gigs out there in the NFL.
Really?
I believe that. And I'm gonna tell you why. I think there's 2 great head coaching gigs out there. And I think right now, Jacksonville is the second best. The first best, I think, is the Chicago Bears. I think in terms of availability, the Chicago Bears are there because the Bears are a talented team. It's just the coach, Matt Nagy, just does not know what he wants to do with himself. If you take him out there, you got a couple pieces on defense, now all of a sudden they're in a whole separate thing. I know that sounds wild, but again, that's just, I believe, in terms of, going to try to get a head coach, I would go to Chicago because, again, you have a franchise quarterback. I think Allen Robinson stays. So you have a legit number 1. You have Montgomery, who's a hell of a running back. You have pieces there. It's just Matt Nagy doesn't know how to use them. So if you go get a new head coach who kind of knows what he's doing, I think this team can go in the right direction. But in terms of Jacksonville, I'm explaining because I said, I think Jacksonville, I think that's a solid job. And Trey, you seem a little confused because.
No, I was just wondering.
Yeah, because look, I understand the stench that Urban Meyer left in there. And it's a horrible stench. Let's not get it twisted. It's a bad stench. The reason I wholeheartedly believe that it's a solid job is for 2 reasons. First and foremost, there's no expectations. Okay? You just got to be better than Urban Meyer. Do you know how? Listen, you have to try to be worse than Urban Meyer. You need to try to be worse. You need to try to piss off your entire locker room. You need to try to be dumb enough to bench your best player. You need to be dumb enough to actually think you have any expectations to me. You need to try to sit here and say, oh yeah, that young safety, I like him. I want to give him some time, but I don't want to sacrifice winning. You need to try to be delusional. You need to try to be dumb. You need to try to get fired. Like that's really all it is. So if you come in talking about, oh yeah, what are we gonna do here? I mean, whatever coach I bring in, and I said this before, this coach who brings in, it does not have to be a Bill Belichick, doesn't have to be an Andy Reid. The first coach you should bring in there after the whole Urban Meyer debacle, a player's coach. You need a coach that, because the relationship between the players and any type of coaching staff right now is shot, and it's shot bad. So you need to bring in a guy who's, if he gets fired, because I believe if Russell Wilson leaves, Pete Carroll will be available. Like a Pete Carroll. Now, I don't think Pete Carroll will want to rebuild anything. I think he'll want to go to a team that he wants to win. But a guy like that, a guy who, he has some knowledge, you're not just going to put a random out there. But he doesn't have to be the cream of the crop in terms of you just need a guy who's going to go out there, tell the guys, like what Detroit did with Dan Campbell. That's what Jacksonville needs. A guy who's going to believe in the players and say, you know what, Trevor, you're our guy. My job right now is to do everything I can in my power to set you up to succeed. You know, I'm going to look around and I'm going to say, you know what, this kid is working hard. Let me give him a few more touches and let's see how he can handle a game. Because look, Jacksonville and this is just a fact. And if you disagree with me, I don't know what to tell you. For the next 4 years, Jacksonville ain't winning shit. Let's just call it what it is. They're not winning nothing. So it's like, and real quick, you can't squander number 1 overall pick quarterback you just drafted by being better than Urban Meyer. Well, and listen, I understand that point. But my rebuttal to that is Trevor Lawrence needs someone to believe in him. He needs the coach to be able, like the coach he looks at, he needs to be able to look at him. And when the coach tells him something, he needs to not only listen, but respect what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. The first person they bring in has to be better than Urban Meyer because that's the standard they're setting. Because again, and Trey, if I'm wrong, let me know. But what else are you going to sell? You're not going to sell that this team, is up and coming because there's still a long ways to go. You don't really have much to sell. So it's kind of like the only expectations you can ask from a guy is, be better from the dude that almost ruined the reputation of our organization.
So when I always look at things I like the scenario base. So if you had a son that was in the NFL draft, what gives you the warm and fuzzy where you feel comfortable with yourself or him going to Jacksonville Jaguars? Let's take it because as we know, as reported through Bleacher Report, that the currently you have they're looking at Brian Leftwich.
Yes, I think Doug Peterson was in there. They requested an interview Todd Bowles,
as well as Kellen Moore.
Yes, Kellen Moore. Yes.
So who is that? Are those all comfortable candidates?
Yes. So of all of those candidates, I think look, I love him, but Todd Bowles should not be. He's not head coach material. He's not head coach material. I love him as a defensive coordinator. I love him there. He's a hell of a defensive coordinator. But in terms of being a head coach, I don't know. I don't know about that. Now, Doug Peterson, I think he has a chance because he's a guy who, he'll hold everyone to a standard. But at the same time, he's not a delusional dickhead. He'll be like, he's cool with everyone. He'll chop it up with you and he'll form a relationship. So when you're messing up, he'll come up to you and say, look, man, you got to straighten up. You know what I mean? Like James, if he was talking to James Robinson, he's like, look, man, what you need to work on, let's say he can't identify the hole consistently enough, right? He'd be like, what you need to do, you need to get the ball, take a minute, relax, see what you got, and go from there. Like, he'll sit down and talk to you. Brian Leftwich, I think this would be a perfect job for him because let's be honest, Leftwich, he's probably in the same situation, probably as Eric Bieniemy, right? Where like the first gig you're gonna get, none of the elite positions are gonna be open. Like Rams, I don't think Sean McVay's going anytime soon. Bruce Arians, he's not leaving Tampa. Matt LaFleur is gonna stay in Green Bay, right? So it's like Bill Belichick, obviously in New England. So it's like a lot of the elite positions people would want, they're already taken, right? So if I'm Brian Leftwich, I would want a job like that. You know what I mean? Because I now can, in essence, build a team, build a culture to my liking and my standard. And I'm not even going to bring up the fact that he played with them. I'm not even going to say, say that whole thing, life comes a full round journey. I'm not going to say nothing like that. But I think this would be a solid job for him because, again, and real quick, I don't want a friend. I want a leader. He doesn't have to be nice. You don't take elite positions. You make them. Yes and no. Yes and no. And I'm going to explain why. You don't have to be a friend, but you got to be friendly. You have to be friendly. And if you don't believe me, go ask Bill Belichick why he apologized to everybody after he snapped on him. If you don't believe me, Go ask Bill Belichick when Chad Ochocinco was in Cincinnati, why he went up to him and he would talk to him and say, hey, yo, 885. You know, he was smiling and dapping him up. You don't have to be friends, but you have to be friendly, especially considering this is a young team. Urban Meyer did the exact opposite of being friendly. Homeboy lost. He lost the locker room before a week or before a month into the season. So a month into the season, he was on shaky ground. So again, you don't got to be friendly. You don't got to be friends, but you got to be friendly. Because you want a leader. Yeah, you do want a leader, but you got to understand who you're working with. This isn't a situation like Bill Belichick, who built something, so everyone has to conform to it. In Jacksonville, this is something brand new. Whoever comes in next has to rebuild that culture. They have to rebuild everything from the ground up. If there's any semblance of anything prior, they get a match, burn it, and then they rebuild their new philosophy, their new plan on top of the smoldering embers. So, and then it says you don't take elite positions, you make them. Well, not necessarily, because not everyone's gonna make it in elite position, because being a coach in and of itself doesn't just make you be elite. You know what I mean? Like the 49ers became elite, yeah, but you tell me it was because of Kyle Shanahan? They had something building before, and Trey, if I'm wrong, let me know. They had something building before Kyle Shanahan got there. Am I wrong, Trey?
Well, I'll give it more to Shanahan because.
So you give that one to Shanahan?
Yeah, him and Lynch started building the team once they became, because they kind of came in at the same time, so they started building the culture.
I give the credit more to Lynch.
Because it was him as
that's because I give because Lynch was, because we gotta remember Kyle Shanahan didn't build his team. It was Lynch. You know, and when Lynch, and then when they did all that stuff, then Kyle Shanahan was like, oh, I got some pretty solid pieces. I'll roll with it. Not to say Kyle Shanahan is a scrub or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, as a coach, it's very difficult for you to make that position elite, because Kansas City was on the right path before Andy Reid got there. That's another one. Before Andy Reid got there, they were on the path. You know what I mean? Like, so that's just how I look at it. And again, if you disagree, that's fine. But also, you also have to look at the team. A young team, you can't just come out there and treat them like they're veterans. You know what I mean? Your quarterback isn't Tom Brady, or hell, even Matthew Stafford, a guy who put time in, who at this point would expect, there's going to be a regimen. Your guy, your receivers, they're not really aged like that. You got a relatively young team. So it's like you kind of have to have a different approach with them. You know what I mean? That's why when Russell Wilson first got drafted, why I think Pete Carroll was dapping it up with him. Because Pete Carroll understood this kid is young. Let me form some type of rapport with him. So that way, when he fucks up, I can go up to him and say, hey, look, Russ, when you threw that pick, you threw it in double coverage. You had the check down open. Let's try to look. Let's open our eyes and try to see that more. It's easier than doing that than having a dude come up to you and be like, hey, dickhead, don't miss a kick, and then kick his kicker while he's stretching. So that's just how I look at it. But Brian Leftwich, I like. Doug Peterson should probably be their second candidate in case Brian, I guess Leftwich either A, stays in Tampa, or B, goes elsewhere. But I mean, me personally, I think Leftwich should be their guy and then Peterson. But you really can't go wrong with either or. You really can't. Because again, whoever you get is gonna have to rebuild something. But to answer your question, Trey, of all those candidates, I know I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry about that. But of all the candidates, I think Leftwich should be number one. Peterson should be number two. I'm not looking at Todd Bowles. No disrespect to him, but again, we saw him try to build something with the Jets, and I understand at the time the Jets were horrible. But you know who else is horrible right now? Jacksonville. And if he couldn't do nothing with that horrible situation, in this horrible situation, I'm not going to be willing to give him that opportunity, especially considering we have two other guys, one in Leftwich who has a whole bunch of potential, and another in Peterson who made things click in Philly and made them a Super Bowl team. So, Dustin, you want to get a word in?
I'm kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum with you in terms of Todd Bowles.
You think they should give him a chance?
The reason why I say that is Urban Meyer was brought in without any NFL head coaching experience and failed miserably. I don't know if Jacksonville wants to go down that same road and bring in a rookie head coach all over again, knowing that it didn't work out this year. So I would say,
even though Leftwich with the successes happening in Tampa, you don't think that would kind of equate to not head coach success, but at least some type of experience?
I was going to touch on him in a couple of minutes, but
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, regarding I think Doug Peterson should be their first choice, mainly because of the success that he had with Carson Wentz in Philly. He's got a guy in Trevor Lawrence, a young quarterback who obviously hasn't done very well as a rookie, but he's got that young quarterback to work with, and Doug Peterson has always had success with young quarterbacks. He likes to work with young quarterbacks because he can put their system in place right away, and then it's that quarterback system to go from there. I think Todd Bowles should get another shot just because the Jets were a complete dumpster fire when he took that job. They still are a dumpster fire, obviously, and Adam Gase did not help the case when he went over there. But from a talent side of things, I think Jacksonville has more talent than what the Jets had at that point. And you have to look at how much salary cap the Jaguars are going to have heading into the next offseason. So Todd Bowles is going to be able to sign a lot of free agents to make that team better as it is. He can sign a lot of players that kind of fit his mindset, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And being that he has that, I'm not going to say failure, but being that he has that 3 years of experience that didn't go well, I think he learned from his mistakes as a head coach the first time around. And I don't see him going into a situation and making those same mistakes. I've been on board with Byron Leftwich going to Chicago from day one, mainly because I think Byron Leftwich would work wonders with Justin Fields. And I don't see any scenario at this point where Matt Nagy's going to be back anyways. And if Matt Nagy is going to be out the door, Chicago needs kind of that young voice to kind of relate with Justin Fields. And I think Byron Leftwich, being that he was a former quarterback, being that he's had some playoff success and regular season success as a quarterback, I think Byron Leftwich fits in very well with Chicago and kind of what they want to do in the future. And then back to what you said about Eric Bieniemy, I wouldn't be surprised if the Minnesota Vikings make a run at Eric Bieniemy if Mike Zimmer's not back. That team has way too much offensive talent. That team has way too much offensive talent to be where they are right now in terms of overall record. They just need that offensive mind as a head coach to come in there and get the most out of that talent that they have on that roster.
Honestly, that's why, for me, Eric Bieniemy, for this job, I don't consider him. I don't, because I think, I'll be honest, I think he's destined for Minnesota. I don't know. That's just me. I think they're destined. Greg, let me ask you something. The question is Tampa Bay good because of Byron Leftwich or Tom Brady? So basically, do you believe that Byron Leftwich is just happens to be the right guy at the right time, or do you think it's really Tom Brady who's making him look good? Because I'll be honest, I think it's a combination. I'll be honest. I think it's a combination. Obviously, when you have a guy like Tom Brady, it's very easy. But at the same time, Byron Leftwich, there are times when you kind of see him talking to Tom, and Tom is kind of nodding like, yeah. You know what I mean? So, what do you think about that, Greg?
Well, yeah, I think it is a combination. Also, the same question, just like when Brady was with the Patriots, Brady made Josh McDaniels look really good. And then Josh McDaniels went to Denver and did nothing. Excuse me. So then
I'm gonna touch on that afterwards.
So now what Josh McDaniels is doing with Mac Jones, now I can be like, yeah, Josh McDaniels will be a pretty decent coach because now he's winning games with Mac Jones. Now with Byron Leftwich, we're gonna see whichever team that he gets hired on to, because I do think he's gonna get one of these jobs. We're gonna find out, is it gonna be because he was really that good at Tampa, or is it going to be because, or is he going to fail like Josh did at Denver because it's like, it was really Tom Brady, but he made you look good, and you're not really ready for this yet. And I would hate for Byron Leftwich to get a job that he's not ready for yet.
Mm.
And then it fails, and then we kind of know how that goes. He'll probably never get another shot. Just being honest, if it doesn't work out. But I'd rather Byron wait until he's like absolutely ready, or be in the right situation. Like if Leftwich went to go coach the Vikings, awesome, cool. That situation will work out, even with Kirk Cousins. But
stop acting like Kirk Cousins ain't nice. Come on now.
And so it all depends on the situation and which team that Leftwich goes to. I would just hate for him to go to Jacksonville, it doesn't work out, and then he doesn't get another chance.
Because Dustin, because somebody said, I said that because they had Byron Leftwich for a while, he didn't get a ring. Tom Brady came in and got them a ring. In terms of the ring aspect, I understand, and Dustin, because you said this, in the because you had said this, Byron Leftwich made Jameis look nice for a while. Like, if we're gonna be honest, the only problem Jameis had was there were times that he threw colorblind passes. Oh, getting 100%, and then he got LASIK, and then LASIK Jameis was here for like one whole game, and then he went back to like normal Jameis. But I mean, Leftwich was pretty solid with Jameis for a while. He was able to do some things with him. So I was like, and Freddie, good morning. But for me, look, I don't think, and Greg, I see what you're saying because you don't want Byron Leftwich in essence to get blackballed. But this is a situation where with the Jags, I don't think whoever gets this job will get blackballed. Because think about it. This isn't a good team. Let's just be honest, right? But it's not that they're a bad team because, the front office made horrible decisions. But it's just more along the lines of they're a young team. They're just rebuilding. So I think if you get Leftwich in here, and Trey, please correct me if I'm wrong, the next coach they have, because somebody said this, it takes 4 years to acclimate a new coach to in his system. You don't jump ship in the first year, waste of time and money. The only part I disagree with this one is just because of the fact that Urban Meyer literally did everything in his power to get fired. I'm convinced at this point Urban Meyer wanted to get fired. There's just I refuse to believe otherwise. But for Jacksonville, I do agree because we got to understand. And again, Trey, if I'm bugging, let me know. We need to give them time so that way he can form the system, form the culture, put every player in the right position. So I think this is a closest thing to a gimme job because you have so much time. Like, let's be honest, the real clock doesn't start ticking for another 3 years. And then when that happens, you probably have another 4. So, yes. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at a situation that, if Brian Leftwich goes there, no one's bothering him for about 5 years, if we're going to be honest, right?
Well, I think it's going to depend upon how well or how basically how well that coach is doing. So when we talk about the system is the one in which the coach creates, and that everyone else has to acclimate to it. Of course, a coach should be just coming in with the ideal of he should be playing to his strengths and weaknesses for the most part. But the acclimation comes from, it's not the coach acclimating to the system; it's the coach creating the system that everyone else can acclimate to it with the swiftest that they can. So he. Maybe he gets 5 years depending upon how well they're doing. Like obviously, Khan wasn't going to sit around and watch his franchise burn to the ground completely this year, based on the things in which it was more ethical, I think, than anything else. where it just was. He was trending for all the wrong reasons. His organization was trending for all the wrong reasons. So it was more of a situation to where they had to at some point cut the ties and just restart. And it's a business. That's what you got to do sometimes. That shows some gall, actually. So for the Jacksonville Jaguars, of course, I'm very sure he's going to do everything he can to get the right person in, because at this point, nothing has been successful for him at this point. So it's just one of those things where maybe he could get 5 years, maybe 3, maybe 4. It's just going to depend. I don't foresee him signing a 5-year coaching deal. I think it'll be more of the standard 3 or 4 years, and then they'll look at extensions after that, depending upon how well Leftwich or whomever the coach is going to be does.
So someone said, if Myers didn't want to be in Jacksonville, why did he accept the job then if he didn't want to be there in the first place? Well, first and foremost, it's not that Myers didn't want to be in Jacksonville. He just didn't want to do anything in Jack. He didn't want the responsibilities, We say this all the time. The NFL and college, they're two different things. What you do in college won't necessarily translate to the NFL, and vice versa. What you do in the NFL won't necessarily translate to college. So I thought Urban Meyer thought he could do it. And then as time went on, he understood that he can't do it.
Jesus. And that also and that also, Pratt, because I always when I compare college coaches, Pete Carroll's a more recent one that came in and won. But when Jimmy Johnson took over in Dallas, yeah, he ruled with an iron fist, but at the same time,
the roster was already there.
The roster was there, and not just that, he treated people by their status. I mean, let's just be honest. It was like, okay, Troy, you want to sleep in the meeting? Cool. All right, Michael Irvins, you want to sleep in the meeting? Cool. All right. But so it was like, I know, like, these are my stars. I will give them a little more special treatment because they are my stars.
Right.
And everybody else I'm going to have the iron fist with. And it worked perfectly. And I think with Urban Meyer, it was a lot of, well, everybody's going to get the iron fist no matter what. And it's like, no, it's not going to work like that.
Which goes back to my point. When you have a young team, you need to understand that. Because again, you're out here trying to say, oh, yeah, what, I need to come in here. Who's my leader? Dog, dudes don't even know their role. Dudes don't barely know their position. James Robinson, who I don't care what anyone says right now is their best player. You're benching him for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
For nothing.
Yep.
So it's just stuff like that, again, did Urban Meyer want the job originally? Yeah, he did. He wanted it originally. Then when he realized, this is nothing like college, and I can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not a knock on him. Like, again, and this is just common sense. There are some guys in football and basketball, no matter the sport, there are some guys who have no problem handling the transition from college to the pros. Some guys can handle that transition. Others can't. Urban Meyer couldn't. And when he realized, I can't do it, he understood they were going to fire him. And he just, in his mind, was okay with it. He accepted it. He understood. And it is what it is. But again, I don't know. Like I said, right now, Jacksonville, their name right now is stained. Well, I don't want to say stained. It's dirty. But it's not stained. Because like I said, I believe this is one of, you got something there, right? There's a place that wants you to rebuild everything. It's a place that they're going to give you the power and they're going to give you the opportunity. You know what I mean? So I think this is one of the best places any young coach can go to. Again, I got to say young because let's be honest. Let's say if all of a sudden Bill Belichick decides to leave New England, he's not coming here. Let's be honest. He's not going to go to Jacksonville, right? Like, this isn't – if you're one of those win now coaches, this isn't your job. But if you're a young coach who wants to get his feet wet and have a first, this is his first gig, or, you're a guy who wants to build something and take time with it. This is the place. By the way, Greg, real quick, I just want to touch on your Josh McDaniels thing. When he went to Denver, I blame him, but I also blame Denver management because as much as I love McDaniels, he's not a head coach. I look at him the same way I look at Todd Bowles. He's not a head coach. Now, an offensive coordinator, he's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. When it comes to being an offensive coordinator, that is his niche, and he got it. But in terms of being a head coach, I don't see it. One person said, what about Tom Coughlin or Jacksonville? They already tried that. If you want to figure out how it went, where's Tom Coughlin now? So that tells you how it went. You know what I mean?
They went to like 2 AFC championship games, though. So it was
did that and still fired him. They did that and still got rid of him. They still got rid of him. So
they still got rid of him.
Yeah, so I'm like, look, dog, Tom Coughlin, he can't get him. Nah, bro, they're not bringing him back because they had some success with him and they still got rid of him. So yeah, and again, in my opinion, and Dustin disagrees with me. He believes that Peterson should be the first candidate, which I'm not mad at because, like I said, I think either Doug Peterson or Byron Leftwich. I think regardless.
Why omit Kellen?
I don't think Kellen's leaving. I'll be honest. In terms of any head coaching gig, I'm not looking at Kellen Moore only because I don't think he's leaving.
Basically, like Josh McDaniels, basically.
Yes, and the reason I think so is if he's smart and he plays his cards right. Again, I don't know whether or not he will do this, but if he's smart, you stay in Dallas because if Mike McCarthy gets fired, you can easily line yourself up to be the new head coach. You can start lining up some dominoes and let them fall so that way you can kind of, set yourself up. You know what I mean? So in that instant, that's why I'm saying Byron Leftwich, and on top of that, Kellen Moore, I don't know if he's ready. I don't know. But, I mean, if I'm him, someone literally just said that's crazy. Someone literally just said, Kellen Moore not ready for head coach. I don't know if he is or not. I don't know. Maybe not. But let's say he isn't. Why would you leave somewhere when you have a relatively solid system? Mike McCarthy is already on the hot seat. Like, let's be honest, when Mike McCarthy got hired, he immediately was on the hot seat. I'm staying. I'm staying. Mike McCarthy gets fired. I take it. And for all we know, he could be another Josh McDaniels. He could be a dude who's a phenomenal offensive coordinator, but when it comes to head coach, he can't do it. Yeah, but you might as well do that in Dallas because guess what? Jerry Jones is the type of dude to say, you know what, you're not ready. I will give you back the your offensive coordinator job.
Yep.
He will give it back to him. Yep. So if I'm Moore, I'm staying there because guess what? There's no downside. Worst case scenario, I'm back where I am now. Best case scenario, I'm a pretty good head coach and I keep the position. So he's playing with house money. If I'm Kellen Moore, I'm mad at him. Kellen Moore gets all the credit and no blame for Dallas in their offense. A lot of people don't really give him, because they do blame Mike McCarthy when they don't run the ball, which I think Kellen Moore does need to have some responsibility in that. But, I mean, maybe I don't know. Because supposedly Mike McCarthy is supervising him. That's the rumor. Supposedly he's supervising Kellen Moore, which I'm like, okay. I mean,
that's weird in itself, but
because that's a rumor. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. But if that's true, I don't know, man. That don't sound right to me. If I'm Kellen Moore, I'm pulling up on Jerry. I'm pulling up on Jerry. I'm be like, hey, yo, come on, Gramps, sit down. Let's have a conversation.
But even with the Kellen Moore thing, as we know with Jerry, if he loves you, it'll take him 7 years to be able to fire you.
Go ask Jason Garrett. Go ask Jason Garrett.
Yeah, he
like,
loved
100%.
Jason Garrett. He loved Jason Garrett. That's why it took him so long.
Yeah, yeah. So again, that's what I'm saying. If you're Kellen Moore, this is a perfect situation because he loves you. He's not really gonna fire you. So that's basically how I look at that. But moving on to the NFL draft, which I've made my opinions known on this. If anybody drafts a quarterback, you should be fired.
So you gotta look at the top.
So
you gotta look at who the top. At least let's look at the top 5, right?
So I'm gonna tell you this right now.
At least
if
one
Aiden Hutchinson,
quarterback.
It better not. It better not.
Or not number one. I'm saying at least one of the top 5 needs a quarterback.
Hold on. Okay, so I'm looking at CBS.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I'm looking at. If Trey, if you want to pull up another one,
I'm looking at. I have NFL.
You got NFL? Okay,
yeah.
bet. So on the CBS one, Aiden Hutchinson is number 1. He's projected to go to Jacksonville, which I don't care who's number 1. If Aiden Hutchinson doesn't go first, the NFL is rigged. Then the second projected pick is the Giants, and they got that pick from Detroit. And they're getting Kayvon Thibodeau, defensive end from Oregon. Then Houston has a third pick, and they got Derek Stingley Jr., the cornerback from LSU. Then the Jets get Ikem, I can never say his name, Ekwonu. Every time I say it, I feel like I'm low-key saying iguana. But the Jets get him fourth for the fourth pick. He's a tackle, I believe. And then Kyle Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame, is going 5th to Detroit. On this one, they don't have a quarterback going until 9th to the Washington football team. So if they do this, fire him. That's Matt Corral from Ole Miss, which, again, that's a double fireable offense. So let's just get that out the way. And then right after him, Atlanta is getting Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. You're fired. I'm trying to see how many quarterbacks are going to be taken, projected anyway. All these are projections, by the way. So nobody, I don't want anyone thinking.
I would think that unless they're thinking, I would think that Houston would be looking to to find their next quarterback.
No,
not in this draft.
No. And listen, Anthony, and I've been screaming this all year. This is a defensive draft. Mm-hmm. But I will say this: I think this draft has everything except quarterbacks. I think quarterbacks is what this draft is lacking. They got plenty of corners. They got plenty of wide receivers. They got plenty of running backs, plenty of linebackers, offensive and defensive linemen. They got everything except for quarterback. So, which is why I'm saying, if I'm Detroit, if I'm the Jags, not even the Jags, they got Trevor Lawrence, so it won't even matter for them.
Yeah.
But the thing with that is me personally, I'm keeping Jared Goff for a couple more years.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Because listen, he's a solid bridge guy. So he could hold it down until y'all find y'all guy, make sure he's ready, and then put him right in there. And then do whatever you want to do with Jared Goff. You know what I mean? That's how I would look at it. But Texans, they got holes everywhere. Detroit has holes everywhere. I mean, the Giants, they need to work on their line, their offensive line, and their defense. The Jets, holes everywhere. Like, a lot of these picks have holes, have a lot of holes. So it's like, this is the draft, and potentially even next year, I think a couple of I think Bryce Young next year could potentially be ready. You know what I mean? I think Spencer Rattler has a hell of a year. He's back in it. You know, so it's like next year Maybe this year, no. I'm not taking any quarterback, especially considering you have plenty of depth elsewhere. You have plenty of other opportunities in this draft. So me personally, that's just me. I'm not touching the quarterback. But Trey, you said you're on NFL. What's the projected top 5?
Well, they didn't have a projected top 5. Hold up, I'm looking for one. Go ahead. I'll find 1 second.
Oh, thank God. Because I was okay. Because I'm telling you this right now. And again, Greg, am I bugging? Because if I'm bugging, please. If I'm out of my mind, I need somebody to check me. Right.
Well, I do see a lot of Hutchinson being equated as the number 1 pick.
Oh yeah, Hutchinson's a dog. He's a dog.
Listen, and my thing is, Aiden Hutchinson. This kid is a bona fide. Hear me now, stud.
Yep.
This dude is getting triple team in college. Do with that information as you will. We're in a league where Myles Garrett gets triple teamed, and we drool over that. Aaron Donald, homeboy, if it's ever a one-on-one situation with Aaron Donald, it's virtually a sack, right? But like Aiden Hutchinson is getting triple teamed. We need to start looking at this kid like, sheesh, is a problem. Greg, let me ask you something, bro. Let me ask you. And after Greg, Trey, did you find one?
No, go ahead. I'm looking.
Yeah, okay. So, Greg, let me ask you this, and then after you're done, Greg, Trey, I want you to let us know the projected, the top 5 projected. Greg, me saying that a quarterback is not available at all. Am I out of pocket for saying that, or am I crazy for saying that, or am I on the right track?
You're on the right track, because if you're gonna draft a quarterback in the top 10, that has to be a franchise quarterback. And in this draft, I don't see any franchise quarterbacks. Matt Corral isn't a franchise quarterback. Pickett is not a franchise quarterback. So they might be decent. I mean, they can, win you some games and that. But as far as franchise altering quarterbacks, there are none in this draft. So if I was those teams, I wouldn't even waste my pick getting one. I would find a player on defense that I like and draft him. But as far as franchise quarterbacks, there are none in this draft. To me, there are not any.
So there's no one at this point that you see, no Pickett, no Ritter, no one that you foresee as being able to carry a franchise. Is
Nope.
Clearly what you're saying.
Mm-mm. No, and even I've been wrong before. When I remember when the Chiefs drafted Patrick, and I was like,
did you foresee Patrick as a franchise quarterback when they got drafted automatically?
I thought he would be decent. Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Of course, nobody saw how it's turning out, but. If it's something like that where they draft somebody, top 10, and then, of course, that's kind of a high ceiling trying to be like Mahomes. But if they can, draft somebody top 10 or top 15 and they turn out, okay, they got you in the playoffs the second year or something like that. Okay, cool. But do I think any of the quarterbacks are franchise quarterbacks where they're going to be that guy for the next 10, 15 years? No, I don't.
This is something very interesting. I'm not going to yell at you. Do you think Kenny Pickett is the next Josh Allen? I don't think so. I don't. And real quick, this is not to say that who these kids are now is who they're going to be forever. I'm talking about so right now they're just not ready. And let's be honest here with Kenny Pickett. Let's be honest. Did anyone care about him about a month ago? No. let's be honest. The only reason people know about Kenny Pickett is because that fake slide he tried to do that the NCAA immediately got rid of and they immediately banned. Let's just be honest. That is the only reason. Who, by the way, that was very impressive. That little half slide thing and him getting up and I'll be honest. Look, I get it's illegal now, but what a sight to behold. That thing was beautiful. But again, that's really the only people. A lot of people really are talking about Kenny Pickett. Can he be the next Josh Allen? Maybe. The kid does have a cannon. He's got an arm. So, I mean, maybe. I just think he needs to spend maybe one more year in college and then let's see how he looks next year. But that comparison, I'm going to wait for that comparison a little bit longer. I want to see how he is next year. Then next year, if he takes that leap that, frankly, he should be taking, then maybe we can have that conversation. I'm not going to yell at you, though, because to be honest, he's got a cannon. He's mobile, too. Always looking for the pass. I get why you said that. I get why you kind of compared him to Josh Allen. So, but Trey, your projected top 5. What you got?
So what I'm looking at is SI.com, and they have a different top 5, of course. So their number 1 going to Jacksonville is Evan Neal, the offensive tackle out of Alabama.
Rigged.
Number 2 to Detroit, they have Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. Number 3, the Jets, they have Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon.
Okay, the other
guy.
Yeah, because people are looking at him as a consolation prize. Like if you don't get Aiden Hutchinson, then Thibodeau kind of would be your dude. Number
4 to Houston, they have Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, the free safety.
Safety, okay.
And number 5 is George Karlaftis from Purdue, defensive end.
Okay.
So what I've seen in 2 or 3 different drafts, the first quarterback coming off the board is Kenny Pickett, but in this case, he'll be going to the Carolina Panthers, which is very interesting to me.
No, fired. Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Whoa. Pickett is undefeated heading to the national game. Am I right or wrong? I'm assuming he's not in the college playoff. Yeah.
No.
So how isn't he a franchise quarterback? That's an easy question. The same way how we look at Bryce Young, who if he declares, we're not going to look at him. We're going to look at him that he's not ready either. And he's a quarterback of Alabama who's in the college football championship.
Yep.
So just throwing that out there.
I don't even know who Pittsburgh is playing in their bowl game. But he's not. I mean, Kenny Pickett just like you were saying, Pride. He does have a strong arm, but at the same time, I just don't see him as a franchise quarterback yet. Maybe that extra year in college, maybe he will look like.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he gets one, and like I say, I'm not saying that's how he's going to be forever, right? Like, give him one more year in college, then we'll see how he looks.
Oh, Pitt is playing Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah, that will be good.
That's going to be a good one. But I don't know. It's just, to me, defensive heavy. But again, it's pretty solid everywhere. Quarterback just ain't it this year. It's just not. And if you're upset, and if you don't believe me, I'm gonna tell y'all, what quarterback would you draft and be comfortable with? Because I said this before, and I'll continue to say it. The only teams that should draft a quarterback. The only team that should draft a quarterback are the teams that already have a quarterback in set, and you're willing to spend 4 years developing this kid. Anthony Price said quarterback ain't it next year. I don't know, because maybe some of these guys could take that extra step. Like if
Rattler, Young,
you know what
you got Cole, you got Keaton Cole, you got JT Daniels,
So next year there is potential. Now, I'm not going to come out and say right now that next year will be it, but I'm not going to say it ain't it either. I think there's potential. I want to see how they go, because we also got to remember, to Anthony Price's point, this year, this draft was supposed to be lit. This draft was supposed to stack up with a couple years ago when they had Tua Tagovailoa in there, and they had Joe Burrow, and they had Justin Herbert. This draft before now was slated to rival that. Now look, so I'm not gonna hold my breath on next year, but I will say that as of right now, you can say next year won't be it, but I'm gonna give them some time, because for all we know, Spencer Rattler could all of a sudden blow it up, go pew pew pew, and all of a sudden be the number one pick, get benched again, and still be projected to be a top a top 10 pick. What are we doing here, man? You don't understand how mad that got me. He was benched still, and they're talking about, oh yeah, Spencer Rattler, and they updated it. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is ridiculous.
The Oklahoma bias, that's what that is.
It had to be 100%. But again, CJ Stroud over Bryce Young.
Interesting.
I'll be honest. Here. This is way closer than people think.
Yeah, it's close.
And like people usually say, a lot of people say Bryce Young in a landslide. I'm like, yeah, so you either hate CJ or you have not watched this dude play. Because homeboy, he's solid. Give him one more year. He low-key rivaling Spencer Rattler for the number one pick. Because Spencer Rattler can play like dog shit, and he'll still get drafted top 10 just because of his name. Let's be honest, because of all the hype that's been surrounding him. Let's just be honest. Right? It could be, listen, I could legally change my name to Spencer Rattler, right? He could take a year sabbatical, and I will play for him. The world will know, damn, that's not Spencer Rattler. And they'll still draft me because my name is Spencer Rattler. So, do with that information as you will. Moving on to the NBA. Steph Curry, first player to hit 3,000 threes.
That's 9,000 points alone.
That triggered me. Bro. That triggered me. Let me ask y'all a legitimate question. Let me tell you why it triggered me first. Because I saw it, right? First dude, 3,000 threes. And I'm sitting down and I'm like, that shit is impressive. Just imagine. You are the only person in the history of the game to have 3,000 3-pointers. Wow. That's impressive. Must be difficult because you got to be a consistent shooter. You know, got to be consistent enough. Now people are saying that Steph Curry is a one-trick pony. Therefore, he should not receive any credit for this because all he does is shoot. And if you shoot as many times as Steph did, anybody can break that record.
So I have a couple of different takes on that. So remember when we started when he broke the record? And I remember our panel, we had a conversation in reference to Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, and Steph Curry, right? And we talked about how Ray Allen and Reggie Miller can't do what Steph Curry does.
Correct.
So just yesterday, I was watching a couple of highlights, and Ray Allen used to bang, like get it in.
Forget about that. Him in Milwaukee, he was not a shooter.
He was not a shooter
until he came to.
He was a banger. So he was a banger. So he was like, we knew he could get his shot off, and he was pretty deadly from the outside. But Ray Allen used to bang. Like he used to go down low and do his thing, whether it was dunking on somebody, getting and ones. Like he used to do his thing. So I greatly apologize to Ray Allen for being a part of that blasphemous conversation where we said
slandering his good name.
Yeah, slathering his good name, and, you know, saying his 2-point accuracy and his ability to smash on somebody at will. So when you bring that back and you start looking at it, I don't know. I'm not gonna call Steph a one-trick pony. I mean, because on the opposite side of the spectrum, when you look at it, the man is deadly from outside anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere with anywhere not 45 feet, he's a sniper. And you know what I'm saying, with consistency, you can't take that away from him. So I don't know if you want to call that a one trick, because I don't know how many other people that you would consider to be a 3-point shooter can do that. So I'm not gonna say he's a one trick pony. I'm just saying that he plays to his strength, and his strength is the ability to shoot the long distance ball with consistency, which is now putting him in the position to be the one and only 3-point shooter with over 3,000 made 3-pointers. You know what I'm saying? Which is just showing how evolution becomes, because here we are in 2021 going into 2022, and this is when this feat is just being made. It's evolution. And you know what I'm saying? We might not be around to see it, but it might be someone that hits 4,000. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. As the game evolves and the players evolve, this is the type of stuff in which we're going to see. So shout out to Steph, 3K.
So real quick, so Doug Peterson is going to be the first interview, and they're going to interview him tomorrow, Thursday. So he's going to be the first coach to interview. To interview for the job, which I believe, maybe it's just me, but I feel like if you're the first one interviewed, you're their guy.
You think so?
Maybe it's just me. I mean, because again, maybe it's just the fact that, you know, Leftwich, Kellen Moore, and Todd Bowles, maybe it's because we're in the season, even though they requested permission and it was granted. So I don't know if that would be tamper. Like, I don't understand. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But
if you're the first coach going in, Greg and Pride, what are you saying to basically set the tone for being the next coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars? What is Doug Peterson gonna go in and say that's gonna set the tone with
Greg,
him being the first coach?
I'm gonna let you go first.
I would go in if I'm Dougie P. I'm saying I want control of all roster decisions. I don't need nobody else doing nothing with the roster. I say who's on the team, who's not on the team. I have a say on who we draft. Full control. Because I think what happened with Urban Meyer is I don't think he got the ultimate say-so on like player personnel and things like that. So
you don't think Lawrence was his quarterback?
I mean, yeah, he got to say on that, but as far as everything else,
he had to, because he drafted I can never ever say his name. Etienne?
Travis Etienne.
Yeah, Etienne.
Yeah, I always mess up on his name, but he drafted him to make Trevor Lawrence feel more comfortable.
Yes.
So it's just like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So, you know, if he has full control on, you know, the personnel, then Peterson is actually going to do very well down in Jacksonville. But that would be my pitch, and also that I won a Super Bowl with Foles.
Gritty. What up, Gritty? All right, so this is what I would do. Because we need to understand something. Let's understand something. Me, as a potential coach, I ain't got to convince y'all motherfuckers of shit. You feel me? Y'all need to convince me.
Oh, you going in like you own the room.
Listen, I'm going in like I already got the job. I'm going in. This is what I'm doing. I'm sitting down. And listen, I'm not even formal either. I'm chilling. I'm taking this polo off. I'm wearing a jersey. Matter of fact, I'm wearing a Phillies jersey with my number and my name on the back. Socks and sandals with shorts. I'm kicking my feet up and I'm gonna go like this. Oh, why should you be here? I'm gonna throw my Super Bowl ring on the table. Bitch, there it is. Now why should I be here? What you talking about? Y'all need to convince me I need to be here. Well, how bad y'all are and how desperate y'all are. Listen, bro. Convince me. Why do I need to be here? And I'm being serious though. Why do I need to convince you? You guys are not like the New England Patriots who have a storied history. You guys aren't the Kansas City Chiefs who are right now a legitimate Super Bowl favorite in the AFC. You're not Tampa Bay who has the greatest quarterback in the history of the game and has a pretty good roster and not only has held their division down, but is another Super Bowl contender. You're not the Rams who, we've had some ifs and, we had some bumpy roads, but we figured it out. We're getting Cam Akers back and we're going to go handle our business. You're not the Philadelphia Eagles where you could say, hey, look, bro, we won back then. We're an exciting team. We're an exciting up and coming team who can make news. You're not the Dolphins who can say, hey, look, man, we started rough, but look at us now. We're the only team in NFL history. Yeah, we lost 7 in a row, but then we lost 7 straight. So do me a favor, lick me from the back. You're not the Raiders who say, hey, look, yeah, we're in a little bit of turmoil, but guess what? We still got a legit quarterback here. We got Derek Carr. We still have a solid roster. We just need somebody to hold down. We need some consistency. You're not any of that. You're not any of that. You are Jacksonville who literally y'all signed Urban to what? A 4-year deal? A 4-year deal. How you get fired in your day off, Craig? How? So if I'm all of them, I'm going in there with massive grapes. I'm going there, and matter of fact, I'm in my underwear too, so y'all can see it. I want y'all to see the imprint. I'm sitting down and I'm kicking my feet up. I'm kicking my feet up on this, and I'm leaning back. Like, oh, so why should you be here? Throw my Super Bowl ring. Why should I be here? What do you want from me? Huh? Why should I be here? Why should I waste my time here? Why? Give me an offer I cannot refuse. Look me in my eye. Give me something that will make me sign. Give me something where I cannot, under any circumstances, walk out of. That means, not only am I the head coach, but to Greg's point, I get full control of this motherfucker. I get 110%, not just for drafting. Anybody you guys consider cutting, you run by me. Any trades you guys are considering, you ask for my blessing. But listen, Trey.
So just cut out the GM.
Matter of fact, we're all there, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, yo, when do I start? You start now. Bet. I'm looking at the GM. You're fired. That's my first order right there. That's my first order right there. And if they say no, I quit. I'm not kidding.
That's it.
Listen, and Byron Leftwich, he's gonna come in here. He's gonna be like, "Oh man, I'm so happy to be here." Nah, bro, you better not do that. You better not do that. Be smart with it. You're gonna go in there and you're gonna be like, "Hey, yo, guess what? I was here as a quarterback. Didn't end well. Back here as a head coach. Guess what? I'm above the quarterback. Lick my nuts. What are we doing here, bro? I own this place. I want to act like I have a majority share. Matter of fact, I determine how much tickets are. Stop playing with me. Y'all want to ride the prices on concessions? Go through me. Matter of fact, you guys need to fill out the order. Need my approval. I'm not playing. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in no position to sit here and talk about, convince us to hire you. But 2 words, Urban Meyer. That's why you need to hire me. Like, come on, son. Like, man, if Jacksonville has the balls to say, make us hire you, that is like anti-boner repellent right there, bro. Let's call it what it is, bro. Let's call it what it is. Jacksonville right now, bro. Shorty beat. You feel me? On a scale of 1 to 10, she's a 5. You know what I mean? Decent face, body not looking good. You know what I mean? Either she a straight stick figure. You feel me? Ain't got nothing going on. I thought she was at the beach because she got 2 mosquito bites. I lied 4. You feel me? That's what. And she out here talking about. Nah, I'm gonna wait till married. Shorty, be grateful of my presence. You're lucky I'm taking the time to remember and acknowledge your name. Come on now. Listen, your ex done cheated on you, did your filth, robbed you, and you are here talking about, oh, I deserve better. Shorty, explain to me why you need to do better. Explain why you deserve better. Listen, man. I'm telling you, man. Look, listen. If I was anybody looking for a job, as soon as I sit down, I'm telling them, convince me. Matter of fact, we gonna do this at college, bro. You pay for my house, you pay for my car, okay? Then you're gonna give me money on top of that. I get full control, and it don't stop there. Yo, Mr. Khan, step down. I'm taking your spot. I'm gonna be the first owner to coach. Stop playing with me. I'm a one-up Bill Belichick, and I'm not. Listen, y'all laughing because y'all think I'm joking. I'm being so dead serious, man.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Listen, bro. Bill Belichick, he wanted it all. He wanted all of it, and New England was like, "We acquiesce. Here you go. Take all." Jacksonville, look here, man. I'll buy a steak for like half a jar of like freaking honey mustard pickles, bro. Half a jar already opened. The seal's already popped. Ain't no way. Look, man, they ain't no. Zach says pride looks like he a GM at Best Buy with the fit. Look, man. Look. With this outfit right here, too. Horrible, by the way. I just threw something on. I was like, threw it on. I was like, I gotta go, right? So with this outfit on, I will walk in. And by the way, and listen, bro, this is how legit I'm being right now, bro. My daughter came behind me, spilled juice on me. I had pants on, spilled juice. I said, all wet. Take them off. I said, do them off, right? I'm in my undies, bro. Shirt, undies. I will walk into Jacksonville's office and I would say, hey, yo, I got a job. Okay. I start now. Yes, sir. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me. They better not act like they got any type of. Greg, am I bugging? Because Trey laughing at me like it's a joke, man. Am I bugging? Because I don't think. Listen, man. The Jags have no position of authority whatsoever.
I'm just waiting for the point in which I hear Khan be like, security.
Listen,
right? Yeah. I mean, look.
Listen, man. Listen, if they use security,
right.
Listen, if they use security on Urban Meyer, they ain't using it on me, dog. I'm good. I'm good. Ain't no way. And by the way, Gritty and Yuki, honey mustard pickles. That's what I said. Honey mustard pickles. Never heard of them? Neither have I. That's how useless their shares are right now.
I was about to say, I've never heard of them.
I can imagine Pride coming in like Scarface. Hey, I'm not even going to come in like Scarface, bro. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to be mad generic. Like, hey, can I speak to the owner? And she's like, Khan is going to come out and be like, oh, hey, how are you? Okay, I own it now. Look at me. I am the captain now. Straight up. I'm looking at I'm straight up hijacking this organization, dog. And they're going to be like, okay. I'll be like, all right, good. Like, this is a bloodless coup. But look, man, I understand I threw a whole bunch of jokes in there, but the point remains, Jacksonville has no position of authority right now. They don't, because again, they're not. Their culture right now, they have nothing established. Their future right now is murky because you don't have somebody to properly lead the ship, right? You don't have a guy to lead John to the future. You guys don't have, a history of winning. You guys aren't competitive now. So it's like they don't really have anything to really say, It's just more along the lines of, we want you and we hope you'll come and give us a chance. You know what I mean? Everything they're selling is hope, really, if we're going to be honest. And I say this before, if you have to rely on hope, it's going to be tough for you. It's going to be real tough. So I don't think, this is just me, I don't think, that's what Roger said to Matt LaFleur, I'm the captain now. Anthony Price said, probably will come into the interview with his own contract on the side, and I'll start in the morning. And listen, that's what they really need. Like Doug Peterson, Byron Leftwich, Todd Bowles, Kellen Moore, if he ends up getting the job, because like I said, I don't think he will, because I think he's comfortable in Dallas. But if he does, y'all need to have a paper written out and say, these are my demands, I'm not budging. Because that's really what it is. Like, and it's messed up to say, but you know, Jacksonville has no they don't have anything. They don't have any position of power. So I went off on a tangent. But going back to the Steph topic, so Trey, you basically, to sum it up, you're saying he's not a one-trick pony. You got to be pretty consistent to make it. Greg, do you agree with Trey? Do you think Steph is, or are you on the other side and think Steph is just a one-trick pony who, since he always just shoots threes, obviously he's going to get this record?
No, I mean, look, it's one thing to always shoot threes, but you have to make them. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't make Steph a one-trick pony because he's made, 3,000 threes. He is a specialist when it comes to shooting the three-point shot, and that's what he's good at. It doesn't mean that he's not good at other things. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that he doesn't play good defense. It doesn't mean none of that. That's like saying, oh, well, Shaq can only dunk, so he's just a one-trick pony and he sucked at everything else. Like, it makes no sense. Mm-hmm. Whatever you're good at, whatever you specialize in, if that's what you're good at, then cool. I mean, every player specializes in something. So to make 3,000 threes, that is a tremendous accomplishment. And it'll be another 30, 40, 50 years until somebody even comes close to that. And, that's so for people to say, oh, he's just a shooter and he doesn't do anything else. Obviously, they're not watching the game.
Yeah, he has a total of 19,321 points to date, which means he scored 10,000 points somewhere in there.
And my thing is, if you're calling him one trick pony, either A, you're not watching him, or B, you just hate him. That's really all it really comes down to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Real quick, before I give my piece on it, Trey, Green, and Yuki, you guys have fellow kinship as you're both Niners fans. Do you think we should start Jimmy G since we're in a win now mode?
No.
That gives you the answer.
Go ahead and Trey Lance.
No, go ahead. Throw your games away. No. But in terms of Steph, look.
That's what we do with go ahead. Jimmy G.
Steph Curry. We're going to go right by it. We're going to roll right through it. But look, Curry. We got to remember something. When Steph first came in the league, he was getting limited minutes. And remember, he had ankle injuries. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I mean? So for him to do this is great. Let's just get that out the way. Now, for the people calling him a one-trick pony, I think people don't truly understand what it means to be a one-trick pony. I don't think people understand that. A one-trick pony isn't someone who's great, phenomenal, amazing at one thing, and okay everywhere else. Now, I'm not saying that's what Steph is, but I'm just saying because he's got great dribble. He's a pretty good passer. Sure, he can't rebound because that's not something that he does. But defensively, when he does his one-on-one defense, he struggles. Except for this year, though. This year, and I really think it really comes down to it is just the fact that he's never had to really try to do it. So, he's always kind of done it half-heartedly. I think this year, Steph, there's been a couple of times he's been cooked, but he's been keeping up better than what he's been before. A one-trick pony is someone who can't dribble, who can't rebound, who can't assist the basketball, who can't do nothing, and literally is only a spot-up shooter. Not a 3-and-D guy. I'm talking about a guy who would just shoot and is just that. Best way I could possibly describe it to a lesser degree, Kyle Korver when he was in Atlanta. That's like the closest. Granted, he wasn't a full-blown one-trick pony, but he didn't really play defense. He never orchestrated the offense. He didn't really bring the ball up like that. You know what I mean? Or matter of fact, him in Cleveland. Him in Cleveland is actually the perfect example. Because in Cleveland, there's no defense. There's no bringing the ball up, nothing. It's just your job is to shoot threes. Like that you can make an argument that is a one-trick pony. You can make that argument. But with Steph, him bringing the ball up, and again, I'm not the biggest Steph fan in the world. I'm not. But to call him a one-trick pony is just grossly, absurdly, ridiculously uneducated. Carmelo Anthony, Trey, you're a Laker dude. Do you think Carmelo at this point is a one-trick pony? Because I'll be honest, I do get it from a scoring aspect, because his role really is just to be a scorer.
Yeah, that's what he comes in, automatic offense.
Right. So in that kind of situation, I mean, is it fair to say he's a one-trick pony?
I wouldn't say he's a one-trick pony. He just has his role is to be a scorer, is to be come in and get buckets, and saying that's the role he plays in currently, or what they can depend on him on. So I wouldn't necessarily call him a one-trick pony, although he is starting to become an outside, predominantly more so of an outside shooter as opposed to someone who goes to the rack. So he shoots, mid. He's more of a mid-range shooter. So, but his role dictates that he just scores.
Yeah, but you know who's a perfect one-trick pony? Russell Westbrook. He's the perfect one-trick pony because the one trick he does is be a consistent liability. So in that aspect, listen, Trey, I told you my life goal is to get you to laugh. I got a good one out of you.
24-point triple-double last night.
And listen, hell of a triple-double.
Triple-double king.
Yeah, look, man, look. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I just love messing with you. It's fun. But yeah, no, like I don't think he's a one-trick pony. I don't think that's fair to call him a one-trick pony. When he's just the greatest shooter. And that's something that bothers me. He's the greatest shooter of all time. Do y'all expect him not to shoot? Yes, he's gonna shoot because of how great.
That's like expecting Shaq not to dunk.
Exactly. Yep.
Michael Thomas. I'm not calling him a one-trick pony. Same thing, and I'm gonna do it in the same thing as I say with Steph because, and I understand why, because he runs slant routes. He's phenomenal at slant routes. But I have seen him go for jump balls and do that. I've seen him peel the top off of defenses. I've seen him do that. So that's why I'm not going to call him a one-trick pony. Because a one-trick pony is someone who can only do one thing. That's it. Like Michael Thomas can run other things. It's just they use him a lot. They use him a lot for slants. So I get it. I'm not gonna kill you for that. Kawhi Leonard. Okay. Randy Moss. Which Randy we talking? Hold on. Which Randy we talking? Because if we talk about New England Randy, when he was with us for a year, let's be honest, he low-key was. Let's be honest. If we ready for that conversation, low-key, he was just a deep guy. Now, Minnesota Randy, no. If we're talking about his entire career, I'm not going to say no, but I will say for that 1 year, for that 1 year in New England, I think he was. Only because we were good everywhere else. We just needed that deep threat, which is why we went out and got Randy Moss.
I mean, even in Moss's rookie year in '98, it was mostly deep balls he was catching.
But now, you know what? Now I got to take that back. No, I got to take that back now. Hold on. I got to take that back. Because I just said the same thing about Mike Thomas. And I said he was proficient at one thing. But he was, he's excellent at one thing. And there's just the other places, they just didn't need him to. It's the same thing with Randy. God damn it. It's the same thing with Randy. Yeah, it's the same thing with Randy. Yeah, no, he not one trick pony. No, I can't say that. Because again, I literally just said Mike Thomas. How do I contradict myself so fast? Like, embarrassment. Last name, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. Deshaun Jackson.
That's pretty close,
right?
Close, yeah.
This one is. I'll be honest. If Deshaun Jackson is not, this is as close as you can get to being a one-trick pony as you can get without being a one-trick pony. Yeah. I think this is the closest you get. I'm going to say no, only because, yes, on offense, he can peel the top off, but as a return specialist, he put in work.
Yeah.
So just because of that, I'm going to say no. Devin Hester. Devin Hester is the one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Devin Hester.
Yeah, Devin Hester, yep.
Well, you got to remember, Devin Hester came in as one thing, and they just happened to discover, so it became that because he wasn't good at anything except for returning. Which secondly is going to get him into the Hall of Fame.
Right, which goes back to what we're saying. A one-trick pony is someone who's really not good at other things, but is excels in one. Devin Hester.
Yep.
Devin Hester.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Lamar Jackson.
No.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far and say he's a one-trick pony. I won't go that far.
No, he's not.
Nah. Not a good quarterback, though. Not a good quarterback. Just throw that out there. I'd rather have a matter of fact, you know who I'd rather have at quarterback? Ryan Fitzpatrick, week 11. Yep. And let that sink in because I know he was injured. I'd still rather take him.
Take Fitzpatrick over Lamar Jackson?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Listen, man. Look, can I ask you a question? Hold on. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a legitimate question. Lamar Jackson, do y'all have any cute nicknames for him? No, right? Fitzmagic. That's it. Y'all lost. Now y'all can tell me whatever y'all want to, okay? When a grown man is called Fitzmagic, and he comes out with a beard, and he literally looks like a slumlord, and that's my starting quarterback, I'm going with him, by the way. We know that that bad man, he's not a one-trick pony, and he's saying he's MVP, by the way. I still have Tom Brady as the MVP, but I think it's like that. I think these next 3 games are going to determine it. I think these next 3 games, and the Buccaneers do have an easier schedule, so maybe that in the end might go, favor Brady a little bit. But
I'm still on free Cooper Kupp for MVP.
Hold on.
Yeah.
If we're not allowed to pick a quarterback, it's either him or Jonathan Taylor. God damn it! If for 1 year this is not a quarterback award, we got to go to either Jonathan Taylor or we got to go to Cooper Kupp. Because, oof.
Yeah.
Are there any cornerbacks that was the one-trick pony? I'm gonna get shit for this. Richard Sherman. On Legion of Boom, he was a zone corner. If you don't agree with me, it is what it is. How do you have double-digit interceptions? Because he's thrown the ball more than Aaron Rodgers. That's how he has the double-digit interceptions. He's thrown the ball more than Aaron Rodgers. So, he averages more yards per game. He's averaging more yards, more. Ladies and gentlemen, pride love for Brady. Pride love for Brady is crazy. Dude isn't MVP or oldest, and I understand that. But now look at the other stats as well, though. Look at the other stats as well. If you look at all of it, I believe Tom Brady is 110%. I believe right now he's the MVP. Now, Greg, what did I say? I said it was close, and these next 3 games is going to really determine it. You know what I mean? Because I believe it's close. I honestly think it's still up in the air. Mm-hmm. If Aaron Rodgers wins it, I'm not going to say it's robbery. If Tom Brady wins it, I'm not going to say it's robbery. Yeah. You're talking about interceptions. Now, what about the other stuff I said? Tom Brady has more. He's got more yards. He averages more yards per game. He has more yards. If I'm you're fiending on interceptions. What about the other stats out there that contribute to the MVP? What about the other stats? You can't just sit there and name one thing and say, "Oh yeah, he doesn't have a lot of interceptions." You can't just say that and say, "Oh yeah, that makes him MVP." You can't. Because if I'm gonna be delusional like that, I could just be like, "Oh my God, Trey Lance, he doesn't have a lot of interceptions. Rookie of the year, like, you know what I mean?" So, he said, "Well, he got 100 more yards." Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a legitimate question? Trey, Greg, let me ask you a question. And this is gonna be the last time I talk to Freddie because we all know how he gets. Would you rather have $200 or $100? Would you rather have 100? Would you rather have 100 cents or 200 cents?
200.
Would you rather have 100 miles on your car to in terms of gas? Would you have 100 miles to the gallon or 200 miles to the gallon?
2. Give me that 2.
Mm-hmm. Should I continue? Do you want to be, in order to be strong, would you rather want to be able to lift up 100 pounds or 200 pounds?
That 200.
If you're going to throw a party, if you're going to throw a party, would you rather have a place that limits you to 100 people or 200 people? If you're stinking filthy rich and you can have your choice of chefs that can cook you anything you want every day, that specialize in everything, would you rather have 100 chefs or 200 chefs? So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And Freddie, you can come. Frankly, you're not coming in here because we're just gonna keep on booting you out because I'm not doing this thing with you where you're just gonna sit there and start screaming, poking, and crying that Aaron Rodgers is so great. It is what it is.
And Freddie
says $200 or $100 doesn't matter. I'm getting rich.
But Freddie has to understand is Rodgers had the better team last year and he still lost. He's 1-4 in NFC Championship game.
No, but I'm not going to bring that up. I'm not going to bring that up. Listen, and I understand what you're saying with that. Yeah, I'm not going to bring that up because the MVP is a regular season award.
Yeah, yes, regular season.
You know what I mean? Like, I've seen people say that Aaron Rodgers shouldn't get any more MVPs because of what he did in the playoffs. And I'm like, look, I don't think that's fair. That's just me because it's a regular season award. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like first it's like Steph when he goes bonkers in the regular season. Does that mean we're gonna give him the Finals MVP if Golden State wins? Like we need to see how it plays out. You know what I mean? Now obviously the first finals he was robbed. Let's just call it what it is. Yeah. He was robbed. Yeah, no way, Andre Iguodala. And it's crazy because I'm gonna tell you this right now, Trey. If I'm bugging, let me know. That Finals MVP made Andre Iguodala a first ballot Hall of Famer. I wholeheartedly believe that.
You think so?
I think that Finals MVP, I think that's gonna make him a first ballot. I really do. I don't think he deserves it, but I wholeheartedly believe that right there, that MVP, that Finals MVP, that's gonna make the difference. Maybe I'm bugging, but I wholeheartedly that's gonna make the difference. I mean, and the thing with Steph, I mean, he doesn't really need any Finals MVPs. Well, he kind of does, but in terms of solely just making the Hall of Fame, he doesn't need it. Not when you're the only guy right now who had 3,000 threes and you're still playing. Come on now, stop playing.
And I agree with what Anthony said in the comments. Mahomes might slide in there also.
He might. And listen, that's a legitimate possibility.
Yeah, he might slide in now because the team is doing better than what it was earlier. Yeah.
Yep. And that right there is a legitimate possibility, which if he ends up winning it, it is what it is. We'll see. We will see how all that plays out. Before we go, let's do a quick recap of the NBA. And obviously, Trey, he has his Lakers jersey on, so we already know he on it right now. He feeling good, which we're gonna allow you to have your moment. I promise you. Listen, when the Chiefs won, I gave Greg his moment. Trey, I'm gonna give you your moment as well. But before we get there, let me just do a quick recap. The Bucks beat the Magic 127-110. 76ers beat the Raptors 114-109. Wizards lost to Miami 111-112. Shocker. Pelicans beat the Cavs, which was a legitimate shocker. 108-104. Rockets beat the Lakers 132-123. Knicks beat the Wolves 96-88. Kings outlasted the Thunder 117-111. And in a surprising twist, the Nuggets beat the Warriors 89-86. Mm-hmm. And in the third quarter, the Nuggets was washing Golden State. They were washing them real bad. Trey, obviously, I'm going to give Pride a moment when the rest didn't help him with that late cornball. Obviously, your Lakers, y'all stopped a 5-game losing streak?
5-game losing streak, yes.
A 5-game losing streak against the Rockets. I'm not gonna sit here and say, because again, I've seen casual people say, it's just the Rockets. Like, again, if that's your rebuttal, don't talk sports. You guys got a much needed win. Trey, the floor is yours. Revel in it and enjoy it.
So what I'm going to do, I'm a realist. I always stand on the fact that I'm a realist. So you're not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. First and foremost, the Rockets are an NBA professional team. So I will never say, it was the Rockets. But we do have a situation to where I do have some reserve for my Lakers due to the fact of we're 17-18. Like we on this roller coaster where we're up 2 games, then we drop 2 games, then we go on a 5-game losing streak. Now we're on a 1-game losing streak. There's no telling when that streak is going to end. So we still haven't got it yet. We went from being the 4th seed, now we're down to the 7th seed in the positions where we don't want to be in the play-in tournament. I at this point, I don't know. We seem to be doing a little better with the add-ins of Stanley Johnson, Darren Collison. Like, I don't know what to say at this point. Russell Westbrook, as we said, dropped 24.2 per double, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. We had 4 other double-figure scorers, but the Rockets had 7 double-figure scores, all over 10 points or more, and was hanging in there. So I don't revel in this being a win. Like, I don't revel in that sense where it's like, yeah, we finally got to win. We got to win. Let's see how many more we can string along. The Rockets was down at one point. It went on 8-9 game winning streak. I want to see if we can put that together. I want to see this team start to live up to the building in which it was built to do, and that's to win games, to put themselves in a good position to be an NBA champion once again. At that point, when that starts happening, then I would always choose my squad, but I won't be hitting the pom poms too hard.
So Russell Westbrook, 24 points, 10 for 17, almost had a quadruple double. Real close with 7 turnovers. Which, and again, I'm not saying that as a joke. That is a problem. Another problem that concerned me, you guys giving up 123. I don't see a world, and Greg, obviously, if I'm wrong, let me know. But you too, Trey. Giving up 123 points
on a consistent basis. Yeah, I mean you got to outscore them by
like think about it. Like if again, defensively, this team has been rough, right? So now it's like if this is the type of Herculean effort you need from LeBron, you need from Russ, you need from Malik Monk, that you need from Avery Bradley. I mean, let's be honest here. LeBron James is LeBron James. He's gonna do what he's gonna do, right? Russ, we don't know. Because he just shot 4 for 20, got a triple-double, and then started complaining and bitching and moaning, talking about, oh, this ain't normal. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Shoot 4 for 20, think you did good? That's not normal. Turning the ball over at an alarming rate is not normal. You got Malik Monk, who, again, be honest with me, Trey, has not been having his best year.
He would not expect, and that's in 40 minutes. 40 minutes, 25 points. Come on.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest now. So you had him. Then you had Avery Bradley, who gave you 14 and 31 minutes. And you can't tell me anything about defense because, the Lakers gave up 123. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's the Rock. I'm not going to, because again, I'm not going to do anything like that. Giving up 123 to anybody.
There's a reason for concern.
It's an alarming reason because, again, let's be honest. Can this team consistently score? Because let's be honest, they'll probably need what? Especially the last couple games, they'll probably need what? About 120? They need to average about 120?
Yeah.
To win games at the rate they've been going. Can this team put up 120 consistently?
No.
I mean, look. I mean, let's be honest. No. That's what it is, right? Right now, who do y'all think is the best offensive team in the league?
The Bulls.
The Bulls? They average 110 points per game.
Now the Lakers is what 8th in scoring.
Yeah, they're about 110.6.
Yeah.
Well, that's their scoring. On average, they're giving up about a little over 112 points.
Yeah, correct. So we'll put them at 27th,
which is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
What's Golden State's average?
Golden State is chilling at about 110.9, almost 111.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the only team in the NBA with a positive
plus or minus.
A double. Well, I lied. There's 2 teams in the NBA who has a positive point differential. That's in double digits. That's them and the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
So they're the only 2 teams with a positive point differential. That's in the double digits. Look, and again, it was a win. There was some good things. But again, it's very concerning giving up over 120 because I don't know, man. I don't feel comfortable with any. Let's be honest. Any. If Golden State was consistently giving up 120, that's a cause for concern.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like Brooklyn was low key doing that last year, and we were concerned about them. We were like, look, bro, y'all gotta chill out, because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If Chicago was doing that, that's a cause for concern. Yo, Trey, if Westbrook keep messing up, can LeBron carry the team at this age? If so, he won't last the season. Look, I'm gonna say this right now. And matter of fact, Trey, I'm gonna let you repeat because it was directed to you. Do you think Bron would be able to carry this team?
No, I don't think that. Not at this rate, because at this point we're just barely almost a couple of 8 games from the midway point. It would take as you were saying, Herculean type effort for LeBron to do that. He's not back when he used to do it with Cleveland early in his days. It would take a lot. It might be a lot out of him. Now, if he can will it, if anyone can will that, I believe that he can. I just don't think it's in them. Not when you have it would be a complete buy-in from the rest of the teams to be like, okay, we feel let LeBron give this work. And which at this point it hasn't happened as of yet. And I don't think Westbrook is ready to give that up either. So I don't see it happening.
I am a LeBron James stan. That's my guy right there. I believe the days of LeBron James carrying a team is over. The days of him dragging a roster is over. If you don't believe me, in their last 10 games, LeBron James is leading the league in points per game. A couple 30 bombs in there. He's playing at an MVP level. They're 4-6 in the last 10. LeBron James at this point, he can no longer carry a team solo dolo anymore. He just can't. Now, can he play at an elite level? Yes. But the days of LeBron James dragging a roster to the finals, that's gone. That's gone.
Well, also with Bron, I will give him some blame here on this part.
You have to.
He brought Russell Westbrook in. He gave the okay.
Tell it, Greg. And listen, I'm a LeBron James stan, and all other LeBron James fans kill me for saying what you're about to say.
Yeah, he gets blamed. Excuse me, he gets blamed because LeBron, wherever he's played, he is the de facto, GM wherever he's been at. So he brought in Russ, brought in Melo, and this was supposed to work. And the reason why it's not is because LeBron is starting to figure out why KD got away from Russ. He can't shoot. He turns the ball over too much.
Yeah.
You're not going to win with your point guard playing like that.
No.
Melo is old. Bron, just like you said, Pride, the days of him turning water into wine are gone.
Long gone.
So yeah, they're gone. So it's like, so what? This is what it is. The Lakers are an average team.
Unfortunately, yeah.
They are average.
LeBron never carried a team. Teams have carried him. Why do you think he went to Miami to win a championship? Because he knew he couldn't do it. So let me just systematically break down what you're saying. So first and foremost, his first time in Cleveland, he drug a team to the finals where he lost to San Antonio Spurs. Why did he leave? He left, if you understood what you were talking about, because Cleveland was not really dedicating themselves to get him the proper help. That's what it was. They weren't dedicating themselves to get himself the proper help. And LeBron is like, this is all I'm doing. I'm going out there solo dolo. This is ridiculous. He went to Miami. Won 2 out of 4. Should have won more. That what happened in 2011, 110% his fault. He should have, that was his moment to step up. He didn't. He's going to have to wear that for the rest of his career. And then in 2014, the rematch with the Spurs, again, he lost. But again, LeBron James, without a shadow of a doubt, was the best player on that court for either team. If you don't believe me, don't look at the stats. No. No. Go watch. Then compare to the stats. LeBron James was the best player on that court every single game. So that's strike 2. 3. After Kyrie Irving left, LeBron James in his second stint in Cleveland drug that roster to the finals. The same roster where Rodney Hood was bitching, moaning, and crying like a child because he wasn't getting minutes. Meanwhile, every time they try to give him minutes, he would do absolutely nothing with it. A Jordan Clarkson who wore a Band-Aid under his eye because it was cool. A Kevin Love who had no love for no one whatsoever. And so on and so on. So before you say LeBron James never carried anybody, do me a favor. Know what you're talking about. That's all it comes down to. I'm not telling you to tell me LeBron James is the greatest player in the world. I'm not telling you to tell me that LeBron James right now is the best player on the planet. I'm not telling you to tell me that LeBron James is better than Kobe. I'm not telling you to tell me that he's better than Kareem or better than MJ. Nothing. I'm telling you to tell me facts. And that is LeBron James had carried certain teams in his career. If you don't want to believe it, that's fine. There's a special place like for people like you. It's called the psychiatric ward. Check yourself in and perhaps they can help you. Just throwing it out there. Do with that information as you will. But Greg, Trey, I love LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
But the days of LeBron carrying people is over. Now, he can still put up those elite numbers. But in terms of him lifting everybody up, those days are over because we're now ending the end of LeBron James' career. Like Trey said, this isn't prime Bron anymore. This isn't Miami Bron. This ain't even the second stint in Cleveland Bron. This is an older LeBron. This is the LeBron James who like, let's be honest, bro. What NBA player doesn't need help? People say, oh, and here's the funny part. People say, oh, LeBron shouldn't ask for any help. Are the same people that say, damn, if AI had a better roster, maybe he could have won.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? And look, Russ is a problem. He is. But here's the problem with that. I'm not even going to go through the whole thing of, who would take Russ. Here's the problem. They when they had the rumors, and I've said this on my podcast before, so this is going to be the first time I've said it here. When they signed Isaiah Thomas, that was going to determine Russell Westbrook's future this year with the Los Angeles Lakers. That 10-day contract was going to determine whether or not Russell Westbrook gets shipped out of there or he stays. Because they had another guard. And for all the people within the organization that was saying, look, we just need anybody other than Russell Westbrook, this was their opportunity. 10 days ran out. Isaiah Thomas wasn't re-signed. Mm-hmm. And you can't sit there and tell me, oh, my God, it's not because they didn't want another guard. You can't tell me that because guess who they signed?
Darren
Collison, who's been out of the league for how long? For how long?
Years. About 4 or 5 years.
Like, he's been out for a minute. And again, then y'all don't. So my thing was, I feel like that was the pivotal point. Once they let him rock, guess what? I knew Russell Westbrook is staying in LA this year. At least this year. He's staying. And that's just a reality that, unfortunately, I don't think no one's going to full-blown accept it until after the trade deadline. Because everyone's going to believe there's a chance. There's a chance. And I believe that. I believed, let's see how they do come Christmas. And if they're not looking any better, go from there. When they signed Isaiah Thomas, I was like, yup, if Isaiah Thomas does not get re-signed, guess what? Russ staying there all year. Even with all the comments he's throwing out there, I think Russ staying. He gonna stay, and then in the offseason when they don't win and everyone blames him, rightfully so, because this is the same thing we've seen with Russ. He's just gonna be like, nope, I'm not wrong. I want to get out of here, and he's gonna go somewhere else. Russell Westbrook, listen, Russell Westbrook, he's good. He's good. Hell of a talent. Triple doubles are gonna make him a Hall of Famer, no doubt. No doubt. He can get a bad team to the playoffs. But he's got to be the number one option. If Russell Westbrook is not the number one option, two things happen. Either one, he bitches, moans, and cries to get out of there. And two, or 2, they don't go nowhere. If you don't believe me on point 1, he went to Houston to go and join up James Harden. Did not get the ball as much as he wanted. After 1 year, demanded out. Why? Because he wanted the ball in his hands more. You don't believe me about the team not going nowhere when he was a solo act in OKC? How'd that turn out? Oh, my bad. He got outplayed and out IQ'd by Ricky Rubio. Do with that information as you will. Do with that info as you will. So when he's alone and he by himself, he could get a team to the playoffs, 100%. Have him win a championship with talent around him. Trey, and I said this earlier, and I've said this in the beginning, and I had casuals who don't watch basketball tell me I'm wrong. When they traded Kyle Kuzma, and Trey, I told you this. I said this earlier. All they did was trade for an older version of Kyle Kuzma. They traded for a guy because Kyle Kuzma never fit, and he just did not look good. He looked different. He looked just off. And guess what? Enter Russell Westbrook. He looks different. He looks off. Looks like he doesn't fit. Just like the same exact stuff we were saying about Kyle Kuzma. What a time to be alive. What a time indeed. I said this stuff. People got mad, and I was chilling. I was just like, hey, yo, it's going to come out. Truth's going to come out. No, probably you don't know what you're talking about. Bro, you don't even watch the sport. No, probably you don't know what you're talking about. Dog, all you do is go to ESPN and just rip off articles. Dog, you know what you're talking about. Watch what happened. Lo and behold, my name, I'm going to change it. I'm going to keep the P in it, but I'm going to change it to pride to profit. Because lo and behold, everything I'm saying that would happen came to fruition. And you ready to hear the sad part about it all, Trey? You ready to hear the sad part about it all?
I'm listening.
I was saying common sense. I was not saying nothing outlandish. I wasn't lying. I wasn't saying nothing wrong. I simply was saying the future. I foretold the future I thought would happen, if I could borrow your phrase, sir. I'm telling you, this was not going to work. Nobody wanted to listen. Anthony Price says, so Lakers don't make it all the way. You blame LeBron or the coach for not changing it up this season. I'm blaming, me personally, I'm blaming Genie, Rob Pelinka. I'm blaming Russ. I'm blaming LeBron. I'm blaming everybody. And you have to, because to Greg's point, and this is something, again, I am a LeBron fan. I'm a LeBron fan. But this is something we need to understand and accept. LeBron James could have had both Buddy Hield and DeMar DeRozan. They could have had both.
And kept Caruso.
And potentially Lonzo Ball. Or they could have potentially got him in free agency. Potentially. They could have done all these moves. And they chose not to. Why? Because LeBron James said Russ is who we need. Once you, as LeBron James, you put that stamp of endorsement, you now are partially responsible for whatever happens next. Whether it be good, whether it be bad, whether it be great, whether it be awful, whether it be indifferent. You got to wear some of the responsibility. Because if LeBron, and again, I'm saying this because I love you, and I'm saying this out of a place of love, because that's my dude right there. But if LeBron James does not say we need Russ, right now, the Lakers are a top 3 seed, have DeMar DeRozan, have Alex Caruso. They could also potentially have Buddy Hield. And I'm not even gonna go with Lonzo Ball. Let's say Lonzo goes to Chicago. But you have all those guys. You have a better cast. And now instead of Bron having to come out and be LeBron of old, LeBron James can just play the game and have other guys around him step up. So now instead of it just being LeBron and the Lakers, it is now the Lakers. You're now getting stuff top to bottom, nice even contribution from everyone. Trey, as a Laker fan, am I out of pocket?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like, I believe everyone is entitled to their opinion. So, I've set up and thought myself like what we could have had, but of course that didn't come until it's foresight. After the fact now, because what we have now in front of us, or what I feel like we have now in front of us as a Laker fan, is not what was expected when we got Russell Westbrook. Just like when we had Steve Nash and Dwight Howard, what was the end state was not what was expected when you have a Kobe Bryant and you add them to. So um, it still remains to be seen. Like I said, we still got over about 48 games, 50 games that remains, something like that. 44 games. So hopefully they could turn it around just like any other team can and make a push, come out the playoff seat bracket and get into a solidified position and make a push from there. Hopefully they start to gel better and be prepared for when AD comes back and he basically just falls right in and they continue to play well enough to get into the top four again, to where it's a little bit a better position for them. Being in the bottom 7, bottom 10 isn't where they need to be at, especially with this roster. So I'm still optimistic at this point. It's not over.
Yeah, and you can have that again. They're gonna have to make, if you want to, like I said, they're gonna keep Russ. So you're gonna have to sit down with Russ and you're gonna have to straight up tell him what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're at some point they're gonna have to have that conversation with him, because if y'all don't, y'all won't be able to go anywhere, you know. So, and again, and Greg, maybe I'm bugging here. Before we go, I'm gonna ask both of you this question. I'm gonna ask it for you, Greg. I believe the Lakers right now are in a position where they don't care about the number 1 seed. They're in this thing where they're like, we just want to be 6th or up. We don't care about home court advantage. None of that. We just don't want to be in the play-in. At least that's how I interpret them. The way that they're kind of just riding it out and trying to figure. That's how I interpret it. Am I wrong for interpreting it that way? And if you agree with me, do you believe that this is the right mindset for the Lakers, or do you think that they should be focusing on a top 3 seed?
No, I think you're right on it. They don't want to be in the play-in. So as long as they're 6, 5, 4, as long as they're not in that play-in, they feel like they have a chance to go on a deep playoff run. But honestly, even if they didn't make the play-in, I still see the Lakers losing in the first round and get bounced, because
I said that and people got mad at me.
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, Russ is not all of a sudden. Is he going to all of a sudden stop turning the ball over? All of a sudden, because it's playoffs, and he's going to start shooting better just because it's playoffs. The Lakers going to start playing better defense just because it's playoffs. Like, these are there is too many issues with this team. It's too many. Mm-hmm. It's too many. And whoever they match up with first round, they're getting bounced badly.
Mm-hmm. And right now, they're the 6th seed.
Mm-hmm. 6th seed.
So that's. Oh, I lied. They're the 7th. I'm sorry. I saw Clippers. My bad. So they're the 7th seed. So I'm gonna be nice to say that
and they're not too far out. I mean, they're only three games out of 5th. No, correction, 3 games out of 4th, 2 games out of 5th. So
no, because so they're 4 games out of 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 4th. Yeah, the
1
Nuggets,
game out of 5th.
Yeah, 1 game. They're out of 5th by 1 game. Yeah, so they win a game, and they win 2, and the Nuggets lose 2. will be able to go up, but you guys will be able to go up. I said we. Damn, bro.
It's okay. It's okay.
Nah, because listen, man, I'm a LeBron fan and I love LeBron. I really do. So, like, wherever LeBron is, that's my second favorite team. But now that he's on Lakers, the Lakers not my favorite team. So I'm just kind of rooting for Bron. As long as Bron puts up good stat lines, I don't give a shit. Just put up good stat lines. That's all I care about, Bron. Damn, I got to check myself. I'm glad I caught myself though, because then somebody would have in the comment, they would have been, proud low key Lakers fan. Nah, dog. Nah, let me just correct this stuff right now, real quick. But look, in the play-in, I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna say they stayed the 7th seed. If they were to do that, do you know who they're playing in the first round of the playoffs started today?
Who's that?
The Phoenix Suns.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Sweet.
That's sweet.
That's a sweep.
Yeah, that's sweet.
If they fall to the A seed, they're playing Golden State. So that's Golden State in 2. Then if someone gets to the 6th seed, they're playing Utah. I got Utah.
They can win. They can win a game. That's it.
I honestly, I'll be nice. I'll say Utah in 6.
Okay.
That's just me being nice.
Yeah.
If I put money, Greg, I'm with you. I say 4-1.
Y'all not gonna talk about this shit like here, like I'm not sitting here.
No, we are. That's why we're talking about it. Look, the Lakers, they in a weird spot, you know. And I love it, by the way. I love it. Just letting you know. I'm still a Celtics fan. This is what they're referring to. Because I have a Zion jersey, right? So I was at Six Flags, right? And Six Flags, you know that the game they have where you're shooting hoops, right? Back in my day, I was a baller. I was a hooper. I was a game changer. I could have went drafted. Almost had a scholarship, then I messed up my knee. You know what I mean? That's like the excuse everyone uses. Hey, yo, I was lit and then I blew up my knee. But I went to Six Flags, right? And I was watching it. I was watching the dude do it, and he looked like he was struggling. So I was like, let me see what's going on. Did it? Whap, whap, whap. Went flawless. Swear to God, I went flawless. You don't believe me? Ask my girl. Went flawless. I said, whap, whap. And then they were like, yo, you want a jersey? They didn't have any Celtics jerseys. They had a Zion jersey. They had a Joel Embiid jersey, a Ben Simmons jersey, and at the time I hated the 76ers. I still do. I like Ben Simmons, but I was like, fucking 76ers. And then they had an older jersey from Al Horford back when he was with the Hawks. I was like, the fuck is this? I'm like, what are we doing here? And then I saw the Zion one. I was like, all right, let me take that one. Because I like Zion. I'm a fan of his. So they gave me that jersey. So I am still a Celtics fan. I just happen to have a different jersey. But listen, Trey. I'm gonna keep my thoughts for you, bro. I'm gonna keep my thoughts for you. Obviously, I'm gonna wish nothing but the bad things for the Lakers. I hope they lose. I hope and pray that when everything is all said and done, they match up with the Phoenix Suns. Swear to God.
You know what? Let's get it. We don't run from nothing.
Yeah, listen, bro, that's fine. You don't have to run from nothing, but y'all running towards the L. That's all it really is, yo. And y'all ain't gotta run from nothing. Just watch what you run into. So that's all. I'm just throwing that out there. But I will say this. Listen, you being optimistic, Lakers have a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
They have a little bit of time. Unfortunately, in my world, yeah, time is up. And when the Lakers get bounced in the first round, me and Greg, we gonna be here.
Yeah.
And we gonna be laughing. And the whole time we gonna be saying, we told y'all so. Mm-hmm. And then everyone who called us sorry, who called us stupid,
gonna laugh at you.
Who didn't laugh at you. Listen, everyone who had a problem with us, me and Greg, one by one, we are coming for a restitution. We want apologies. We want cookies. We want milk. I don't know about you, Greg. My fat ass wants some honey buns. I'm coming for it all. I'm coming for all of it. And it's going to be a handwritten apology. I'm telling you, it's going to be handwritten.
And as a certified card carrier of the Braun Hater Club myself, I'll have a special shirt on that day.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't
special
do that.
Shirt on that day.
It's the Lakers. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's the Lakers. It's the Lakers. We leaving poor Braun out of this. All right. We leaving poor Braun out of this. All right. It's the Lakers. All right. The LA Lakers. They're the ones who's losing. You feel me? Poor Braun. Yo, Braun. I know a place where you'll be loved and treasured, bro.
Here we go.
I'm not part of the league, so this ain't tampering. Hey, yo, bro, I know a place where you'll be loved. So, you got my number. You know what I mean? Well, no, you don't. But, one day you will. This has been ASAP in the morning. Another fun morning with you guys. Trey, you got any final words?
Hey, glad that y'all came out. See you tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir. Greg, holla at the people.
Oh man, just thank everybody for watching this morning. We appreciate everybody waking up early with us. We're the Breakfast Brothers of sports.
Yeah, you know what? That's it. That's it. I'm gonna go to Freddie. I'm petitioning the name. ASAP in the morning is gone. Breakfast Brothers is in. That's it. That's it. I'm gonna go talk to Fredwood. I'm gonna go talk to him. You know what? No, I'm not gonna talk to him. He pissed me off about the whole fucking Aaron Rodgers thing. Oh, you got less interceptions. You got less interceptions, so he's MVP. Okay. I'm gonna be a good noodle. He's upset. Lakers are dog shit. The only team he has right now is the Packers. So Aaron Rodgers not gonna win he's not gonna win a Super Bowl. So the MVP is what he needs back. So keep the MVP. Me and old Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. We're going to be throwing another Lombardi trophy from boat to boat. And then let Shorty who made that thing get mad again. And we'll just make fun of her. This has been your boy Pride, obviously. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. On behalf of Trey, Greg, and Dustin, we'll be back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. We will see y'all then. Be safe.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.